Buddy, Tornadoes. My name is Conrad. How are you, buddy? Today we're walking. Um, it's early it's not that early. It's almost 9, but for about I don't know 3 or 4 years, I've been running every day. Didn't miss very many days, but since this last episode I had, uh, running has got harder and harder. I don't know if it's the medication or if it's the um, depression. Last time I had a manic episode, I fell pretty hard into depression. So it was pretty bad, kind of like a mixed state kind of deal. So I don't want to go that deep again. Um, but after that episode, I like completely, I'd have days where I didn't do practically anything after that one. So I'm doing my best now to where even if I don't feel like going for a jog, which is kind of unusual because it's something I enjoy doing. Uh, I could just go on a walk. There's nobody I'm trying to improve. Like for a while, I was training for marathon. Because I've been running for so many years, and for really the only reason is for clarity, get my head right every day. But even with that habit, I wasn't able to hold down mania. In fact, sometimes my mania would manifest itself in exercise. So I remember just I had too much energy. There was a time in Oklahoma when I ran after running for my normal like 7 miles one day, I ran 10 miles to the closest town. I didn't drink any water. I didn't prepare to do it. And I probably could have died that day, but I had that moment that you have if you've ever pushed yourself physically to complete like exhaustion and also no bodily fluids left in you. You sweated them all out, so I was like crippled on the side of the road. I couldn't. The whole body was cramping, and sorry, there's this guy coming by. So I don't have to push myself that hard. I mean, it sucks because for months, years, it wasn't like I was running, some sort of sprint. So I just jog around town, and it got to the point where jogging is pretty easy. But now, after starting this new medication and just coming down from a bad manic episode, walking is about as much as I want to do. So, anyways, I started with a run. I ran a mile this morning, and then I'm just going to finish it out by walking. But I didn't want to, I didn't know what time I'd have for doing the show like I've been doing it lately. So I figured I'd just bring you guys along on the walk. So thank you. Um, we're going to get in the gratitude check in. So, one of the things I'm grateful for today, aside from my wife and kids, who I'm grateful for every day, and kind of grateful that hopefully I can be as normal as possible, which is hard for me to do. I'm already the kind of abnormal one. But I don't like them worrying about me either. So I know they do, and that's another reason why I go on this walk. It's like if I can fight the feeling to stay in bed all day or to nobody wants me or um, uh, that I've screwed up everything financially for our family and that I don't know how that's going to work out. And just that everything that used to be kind of something that come natural to me is something that is a little bit harder now, maybe. I don't know. Out of all the books I've listened to and all the podcasts I've listened to, the fact that your motivation will change, your uh, performance will change, all these things that can happen typically to somebody with the disorder, I find myself going through. So I don't feel so abnormal when I do it, but or when I go through those feelings, but you want to tell yourself like it's not going to be forever, that you're going to get your energy back. But when you're in it, it does not feel like it. Feels like you're always going to be stuck. So, what's up? Uh, so, anyways, that's what I am right now. I'm grateful for my wife and kids and their understanding that even though I think they see that I'm trying and I'm, doing what I can do to get myself a stable routine, sometimes it's harder than others. What's up, Boston, Massachusetts? Uh, we're just walking today, trying to gather our thoughts, and this part's the gratitude check-in. And grateful for my wife and kids for sticking with me. And this disorder can take over them too. It affects them just as much as it affects me, really. You know, so it's up to me to try to control it with the help of them and my doctors and such. So I'm grateful for today. I'm gonna be grateful for my doctors and medication. I'm gonna do that. I haven't used them as something I'm grateful for yet, but yeah, all of the ones I've had so far have, even in the moment, like when I was in hospital getting treatment, it wasn't something that I was particularly fond of, especially in that state of mind in a complete mania. So looking back on it, I feel pretty bad. You know, that's what this stupid disorder does, though. Makes you look back on all these things that aren't you, but you did, and collect them, and then you know try to tell yourself it wasn't you. But if you're like me and you feel like you try to be a decent person, you try to be a good person, it's like, man, why would I ever act out like that? So that's the disorder, though, brother. Um, we'll move on from our gratitude check into our mood journal. I got to give today's mood. I'm gonna give it a 5. I feel better than I did yesterday. Still not feeling like I want to go take over my world. I don't want to do that right now. So I'm still kind of feeling like I'm in mud. We did a blood test yesterday or a couple days ago for one of the medications I'm on gets processed, I guess, like everything through the liver, but they have to test your liver to make sure it's not getting damaged by the treatment. And in addition to testing for that, they're testing for hemoglobin levels and for white blood cells, and probably maybe something else. I'm not sure. But I do want to, there's part of me, I think that's normal, to wish that there was an explanation for it. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to say, I hope this is wrong with me, but if it's something that they can fix with a different medication or in addition to the things I'm already trying to do for treatment, which is like this daily mood journal and exercise, then maybe it's worth it. Maybe I can uh, get my energy back. Maybe I'm not supposed to feel like this. And so my energy level, I got to give it kind of a 3. I felt good enough to kind of try to make myself the past couple of days do this walk, do this exercise. But there's still a big part of me that's wishing or hoping that when they do my blood tests and check everything, there's something that they see that has an explanation for why I can go from being a daily long distance jogger to not even having the energy, to get around the block. And I know a lot of it's mental, but it'd be nice if there was something physical. I think all of us wish that when we talk about this disease. There was a study or something I read yesterday about our disorder that there might be, I think it's hepatitis C, which in can get like stored in the lining of the brain and or something and can get trigger uh bipolar in people. So that would be kind of, at least they're working on it, somebody's working on it, writing about it. So because a lot of times you get scared or oh, when you find out that it's a lifelong, that's when you feel like it'll never end. You know what I mean? It's like somebody tells you you're gonna be like this forever, where you don't, on all outside appearances, you look completely fine, but something's broken inside your head. And so they just tell you that you're stuck with that forever. They don't say it in that way, kind of, but it's something you got to manage or be aware of, and it's something that you're gonna have more episodes and all these things, and it's like, sheesh, but and other people, instead of being like sympathetic or empathetic to your journey, a lot of times it's like they're scared and they don't know if they can trust somebody or they don't know if they want to deal with somebody that's got the disorder, and it's like, shit, but I got it. You don't want to deal with me? Why? You went crazy. Oh, well, I did, but I'm not. You know what I mean? So if they could fix it, that'd be great. So I'm hopeful. I will say I'm feeling hopeful that there's people on it that are, even my own team of doctors and family, are not giving up on me, at least. So just don't give up on yourself, you know? That's why I'm doing this. So my mood is a 5, maybe a 4. I'm trying to be positive, and energy is definitely lower. Talking a 4, 3. But like we said, maybe I'll get something going for me that'll fix that. Maybe they'll find something in my chart that's like, oh no, this is why he doesn't have any energy. Doesn't have any electrolytes in his system or something, you know. But not sure yet. I'll tell you a crazy thing that happened at this intersection. I was walking across the street and somebody was looking at me and not looking at traffic and hit another car. They're all okay. This was a couple weeks ago, but felt horrible. Like, wish that wouldn't happen. Um, anyways, one of the things I'm kind of weary of, or is one of the things that's been going on that maybe you guys can also appreciate, is the change in appetite. Now, when I was after my kind of like second mania, which required intervention from, it's the first one we didn't really know what happened, and I kind of pulled out of it somehow with the help of just going away for a week to a different family member's house, and I was able to pull out of a full mania, but I was stuck in hypomania for a long time. And then I had another episode that was even more severe. And after coming out of that, that was like a year ago or over a year. And when that happened, we decided to seek treatment, you know. And that's when I started on my first medications and discovered that I had this disorder and had my identity crisis and all that stuff. And when I fell into that low swing, you know, I didn't even, at first, I didn't even want to eat. Went almost on like a hunger strike and didn't even eat for a couple weeks pretty much, and lost a bunch of weight and was just hiding under a blanket, seemed like, from the world, until finally I had to be taken to the hospital because people were afraid of not me hurting them, thank God, but me hurting myself, you know. And thank God they took me to the hospital because, you know, I was basically starving myself. I was not exercising. I was not going on a walk, not running, just really in the depths of the hell of depression. But and it took me several months to get out of it. Um, and I thought that we were good. You know what I mean? Like, I got out of it and I thought that everything was like I was getting normalized. I was feeling like I was myself again, but then it started going up, you know, and I didn't have a net or the right net of medication to control it. And so it blew up again. And so on this time, although I have that post mania uh, fog, and I feel like I'm in the pit, I'm doing my best to stay out of it. So, as opposed to the first time when I went through this and went into the depression, I didn't eat then. And this time, it's like I can't stop eating. And I know appetite changes are part of our disorder. And I understand that there's so many different things that are symptoms. It's like everything can be symptom, which makes people kind of question what you're going through. But if you, I think for me, it's this time. It sucks when you start having more and more experiences with your episodes. And it's like each one is its own version of you in this, in your willpower and your ability to fight or surrender to whatever you have to do. So right now I'm surrendering. I'm trying to surrender everything. You know what I mean? Not like everything that I had control that was causing stress, you know, I'm doing my best to just not hold on so tightly to all that and do this is what I can do. So um we did our daily I think we did our daily mood journal. I'm about back to my house. So thank you guys for watching and listening. And maybe I'll do these more. I kind of enjoy multitasking. And if I'm not going to be able to run, I get pretty bored on my walks. I could just take you for a walk with me. You know, might be something that we do. But thank you for watching. If you're going through what I'm going through and you've an episode recently, or even if it's been a long time ago, I don't know. There's no right answer for what you should be doing for everyone. But for me, talking helps. So that's what I'll keep doing. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't let your meatloaf be good to yourself. Have an okay day.